Hey, welcome to part 2 of the Mad Hatter Farms apiary build. As you recall, part 1, we cleared out an area in the back along the trail to be the apiary. After that, I went to one of the big box stores where they load me up with a forklift, and I'm on my way. I'm back here and going ahead and preloading Chug-a-Lug. The rebar you see there is for the culvert. It's another project on the trail. But for now, this project takes 50 bags of concrete, 4 4x4s for the corners, 10 2x4s for the roof, and everything else I had was just laying around from various other projects, and I just used that stuff as I usually do. So we have the truck parked as far back on the property as we can access, and now it's time for Chug-a-Lug to do its job and take the rest of the stuff the rest of the way. Chug-a-Lug is easily the hardest working machine on this property, by a lot. So we made it to the job site. Eden's already unloading, throwing things around. We take another look at our projected plot area, and we like it. Yeah, it's just time to go ahead and get ourselves situated, unloaded, and set up. Here we are, unloaded, situated, and set up. It's time to just start digging some holes. So, I sent Eden back to the truck to pick up a couple of more bags of concrete while I started digging holes. I think I'm already on hole number 4 at this point, and I'm just kind of getting down to my 2 foot and 3 inch part. Right here I'm putting a bedding of concrete in each hole, and then you'll see me tamp it down with the post itself. That's so that I have a nice bedrock underneath each post and it's not just touching ground, it's actually sitting on concrete. So, just doing my little measurements, making sure I'm somewhere close to where I want it to be. I didn't get too specific, nor did I mark off anything with a square or anything like that. I just took a couple of measurements and dug some holes, eyeballed it. So you're about to see us do a dry pour and set the posts. What I did was grab a branch from one of the trees that I pushed over, cut the limbs off of it, and I'm using that as a tamp. So what I do is I pour in a little bit of the dry concrete, follow that up with my bucket, which has a little spigot on there, and I control the water flow. And then once I get to a point where I think it's good enough, I go ahead and tamp it down. Eden is making sure that I'm level 2 different ways. I'm down there pouring concrete, giving it some water, tamping it down, making sure it's nice and tight, and that pretty much gets me done. It's just a rinse, lather, repeat process. And now that we're done setting our posts, we're going to go ahead and start forming up our concrete form, which will end up staying as part of the structure. We decided it's not necessary to take it off because who's going to make me? So yeah, it's staying on there. It's a little bit extra structure and support. I like that. And it's all pressure treated anyway, so it should be good to go. So now we're talking over the plan, which is to set up the concrete perimeter inside the bags, just inside the form. That way that's our outer wall, and we are going to leave that outer wall in the bag on the bottom. Just like that, we're out of bags and we need to go back and get some more. This is just kind of part of the process, and thank God we have a Chug-a-Lug. So, we're all loaded up, headed back. I take a moment to just kind of kick back and enjoy the ride while Eden takes me over the the bumps and down the trail to our work spot. So since that outer form isn't waterproof, our goal is to leave the concrete in the bags on the bottom and cut the tops open. That way it makes contact with the top layers, and then we'll pour in the middle, as well as add water to create our dry pour. One thing I try to do is to cut the bags in a way that I can fold the top over like a flap on the corners there. That way the concrete stays unison for the most part. So I make myself a little rake slash tamp out of some spare wood I have, and then I set Eden up with this little cigarette lighter water pump that I have, and that's what Eden's using right now as I go around and tamp the corners down to make sure that they're nice and tight against the form. I would say there's about 20 to 30 gallons of water in that black storage container on Chug-a-Lug right here. I go ahead and help Eden with it by just drenching it with a bucket so we can get our bottom layer nice and saturated. Try to clean up our workspace and go get another load. So about 9 minutes have passed and you can see a clear light difference. So I'll come back, do a little bit of tamping, get Eden set up with the water pump again, and I give it one more douse before I start breaking bags open on the top. I don't suggest this method for anything that's load bearing, but since this is only going to be holding 4 beehives and maybe a person from time to time, I think this is sufficient. So another 9 to 10 minutes pass and we are back in darkness. But we have to finish this because we started it, and it's concrete. So what we do and what you don't see is add more bags and then take a 2x4 and straight edge along both ways, left and right. And then we do our typical tamping and raking and water. That's what you don't see because the battery died and the film cuts like nowish. But this is what we ended up with by the end of the night, and this is the next morning. I have these anchor points so we can strap the beehives down during hurricanes or high winds. They're going to be in each corner, as you see. And there's our name because we made this, and this is how it's going to stay. I'm going to burn off those paper edges and call this a day. The platform is done. Next is the roof.